I'm sorry to ask, but can you not come to the wedding tomorrow? I didn't understand what was being said, so I immediately asked for clarification.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I think Marty would also prefer if his low-level sister who works at a supermarket didn't come. I finally got a taste of what it felt like to be looked down upon. It's for Marty's sake. When they said it was for my brother, I couldn't say anything anymore. My name is Joanna. When I was in 9th grade, my parents passed away in a car accident, leaving my brother Marty and me alone. At first, I couldn't comprehend what had happened. We didn't have any reliable relatives, so our teachers took care of the funeral arrangements and other necessities. I could only watch, holding Marty's hand tightly. Only after the funeral, when it was just Marty and me in the house, did I finally understand. I cried my eyes out. I cried until I fell asleep from exhaustion. When I woke up, I felt considerably calmer, as if I had used up a lifetime's worth of tears. With a clear mind, I thought about how to go on living. Protecting Marty. That's what matters most. I decided not to go to college and to start working instead. I was worried about finding work without a high school diploma, but a classmate's parent, who ran a supermarket, offered me a job. Would you like to work here? The pay isn't great, but everyone is really nice. Everyone else was enjoying high school life in their new uniforms. Honestly, I was envious. But to make ends meet, I had to work. Thankfully, Marty understood the situation. When he came home from school, he would help with dinner and cleaning. Being the sweet guy that Marty is, I wanted him to at least continue doing what he loved, playing soccer. Marty wanted to quit because of the travel costs for matches, but the coach and I convinced him to stay. Maybe it's just my perception, but I believe Marty has a real talent for soccer. On the days when there were soccer games, I'd take the day off work or get a break just to cheer for Marty. At first, other parents were surprised to see a sister, not a parent, showing up for Marty. But as Marty excelled in soccer and my cheers got louder, the weird looks disappeared. Once Marty hit high school, scouts from colleges and even pro leagues started showing up to see him. That helped him get a college scholarship for athletics. When it came time for college, Marty said,
I'm going to work. I can't keep depending on you, Joanna.
But I shook my head. I want you to keep chasing your dreams, Marty. I want to live the youth I couldn't have through you. Marty frowned a bit at my words. I'll definitely go pro and take care of you, Joanna. Thank you, but you don't have to worry about me. My only dream is for you to become a pro soccer player. I smiled warmly to reassure Marty.
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Sure, Joanna, you're more hardworking than me, but... To me, Marty was the true hard worker. As promised, Marty went pro after honing his skills in college. I kept working at the supermarket, eventually moving to part-time as time grew short. I had run out of time to pursue my dreams, so I took up a part-time job. Believe it or not, 15 years had nearly passed since I started working at this supermarket. One evening, during my break, I got a text from Marty on my cell phone. The text said,
There's someone I want you to meet.
I stood up in excitement, forgetting I was in the supermarket break room. I was so happy Marty had found someone special that I even cried while telling my coworkers and manager. Marty was a very good kid who rarely made demands. He lost all his rebellious tendencies after our parents passed away. He even considered quitting soccer, which he loved, just to support me. And now I get to meet someone special to Marty. Could I be happier? The text had the date, time, and the name of a restaurant at a nearby hotel. When I told my coworkers, they said,
You have to dress stylishly.
I was always mindful of how I dressed, but I didn't own anything fancy. After my part-time shift, my coworkers dragged me to the shopping district. I was dressed in various outfits at boutiques I'd never usually enter, finally selecting a classy but simple dress. After that, we headed to a major mall where I bought branded makeup and got a makeup tutorial. Finally, I felt a sense of liberation. Though shopping after work drained me more than my part-time job, the fatigue was not unwelcome. I'd been counting down the days on my calendar, eagerly awaiting this day. A few days later, I sat in the hotel lobby where we agreed to meet, wearing a dress I'd bought with a coworker. I'm not great at makeup, but I think I did it right, just as I was taught. Feeling nervous, I waited for the two of them. Then suddenly, I heard someone call from behind me.
Joanna!
Turning around slowly, I saw Marty in a suit and a stunning woman with long hair next to him.
Joanna, you look amazing.
I went all out on being stylish. Marty said he wanted to introduce me to someone special. As I said this and laughed, Marty seemed pleased.
Let me introduce you. This is my fiancée, Vanessa.
Nice to meet you. I'm Vanessa, your future sister-in-law. Receiving such a courteous greeting from an incredibly beautiful woman, I found myself getting even more nervous. Somehow managing to say,
I'm Marty's sister, Joanna.
We decided to move to a restaurant. Once we were seated, we chatted about various things. Vanessa comes from a well-known family around here, and her father is apparently quite wealthy.
Marty has told me about you. After your parents passed away, you've been like a parent to him.
Parent-like, I wouldn't say. Don't be modest. You gave up high school for me and went to work. Wait, you didn't finish high school? Yeah, I started working right after middle school at a supermarket. It's been 15 years now. Just then, something felt off. Though Vanessa was nodding and making cute faces, it felt like she was looking down on me from behind her eyes. I thought it was my imagination, but then I saw her sneer when Marty wasn't looking. Your dress suits you well. She complimented my dress, but the way she scanned me from head to toe and snickered under her breath confirmed it. She definitely looked down on me. Next year, we're planning to get married, Marty said, looking a bit embarrassed. To be honest, I wasn't thrilled, but if this was Marty's choice, I had to be happy for him. All I could do was offer my biggest smile and say, "Congratulations." So, our meetup ended. Though I had some reservations, if they were happy, who was I to say anything? I let it go. Days flew by, and before I knew it, Marty's wedding day was tomorrow. As I was getting my outfit and other necessities ready, a call came in from Vanessa on my cell. I returned her call immediately, wondering what could be wrong.
I'm busy too. Could you get to the point?
I never expected to be greeted like that right off the bat. I should have left on time, and I know it's my fault. So, I genuinely say, I'm sorry. On the other end of the phone, Vanessa lets out a sigh-like sound. Look. Then she throws a shocking statement my way. Could your sister-in-law please not come to the wedding tomorrow?
What?
I didn't understand her meaning, so I asked her again.
Vanessa, what are you saying?
I mean exactly what I said. I don't think even Marty would want his sister who works at a grocery store to come. Her condescending tone makes me realize what it's like to be belittled. She doesn't even try to hide her mockery. But no matter what, I can't miss my only brother's wedding.
Vanessa, that's not gonna happen.
I'm the bride, so if I say it's possible, then it is. Please don't make me say it again. It's also for Marty's sake. When she brings up Marty's sake, I can't argue anymore. The wedding will have guests like the coach and players of the team Marty is part of. Also, there will be people from the major corporations Vanessa's family does business with, people you'd typically call elites. I can't deny that I've wondered if me, a high school dropout, being there would ruin the atmosphere. Marty might say, "Don't worry about it." But I'm sure others won't feel the same way. Don't worry about it. But I'm sure others won't feel the same way. Maybe it would be better to follow Vanessa's suggestion and not attend. Fine, I won't come. But can I at least send a congratulatory message? Even though it might be rude over the phone, if I can't say it in person, then what? Never mind, then. Vanessa curtly says, hanging up the phone. Stunned, I hold my disconnected phone. I wish I could have seen Marty happy with my own eyes. I push the packed bag into the corner of the room and crawl into bed. I'll just sleep through today. I don't feel like doing anything, and if I let my guard down, I might start crying. I forcefully close my eyes, but I couldn't sleep until morning. The next morning, I check my phone and find several missed calls from Marty. No surprise there. The whole family was supposed to head to the wedding venue early in the morning. Just then, another call from Marty comes in. I answer the phone. Hello. Joanna? Where are you? I'm coming to get you. Marty, I can't make it today. I can sense the urgency on the other end.
Why?
Marty asks with a sad voice. I'm torn about telling the truth when Marty continues.
Did Vanessa say something? Is that it?
How did you? Did Vanessa say something to Marty? Before I could ask, he says,
Never mind. Just get here now. We'll talk later.
Then he hangs up. Even though I planned not to go, I hurriedly get ready and leave the house, concerned about Marty and Vanessa. When I arrive at the venue, I can hear shouting even before I enter the waiting room. Guided by the venue staff, I enter to find Marty, Vanessa, and her parents in a heated argument. Around them, relatives who were supposed to attend are confused.
What do you mean, not inviting Joanna to the wedding?
I can't invite a Joanna who works at a grocery store. It's embarrassing. Both of Vanessa's parents, standing next to her, nod in agreement. It's disheartening, but they seem to be on the same page. Seeing their reaction, Marty's anger reaches a boiling point.
What do you mean I should be embarrassed? Joanna has been working hard her entire life to raise me.
Vanessa snorts at his words. Because of Joanna, I might never get married, you know? I should be more important than her, right? So it is. Vanessa says as if it's the most natural thing in the world. Yeah, of course. Her parents chime in. Absolutely. Meanwhile, Marty looks like he's about to burst a blood vessel.
Marty, Vanessa, let's calm down a bit.
I hastily step in, but Vanessa suddenly realizes I'm at the venue and shouts.
Why are you here? People like you, who work at supermarkets, weren't invited. Leave now.
Why does she have to say things like this? I didn't want to cry in front of Vanessa, but I felt tears welling up. Just then, a voice rings out from a gap in the crowd of relatives who had been watching from afar.
Hold on a minute. I can't ignore that low-level comment.
The voice's owner makes his way through the crowd and stands in front of us. Coach. It's Marty's team coach. He came early to attend the ceremony and, hearing the commotion, decided to step in.
Judging people by their profession isn't right, he says.
Enough with the lectures, please. Vanessa gives the coach a pained look. Even she can't keep up her bravado in front of the coach.
Well, that may be.
The coach gives a wry smile and takes a book from his bag. Realizing what the book is, all my sadness flies away, replaced by a surge of embarrassment.
You sure she's low-level even by your standards? The coach asks.
That's a best-selling book. What does it have to do with this?
The person who wrote this bestseller is none other than Marty's sister, Joanna. What?
Vanessa and her parents are left speechless. The book the coach is holding is a novel I've published under the pseudonym Annie. The story traces back to before Marty became a pro soccer player. When life began to stabilize, Marty took up reading as a hobby, mainly because it was an affordable pastime. I found joy in reading books at the library near the supermarket, a place I frequented. That library had a computer corner open to the public, where Hay ventured into writing as an extension of his my love for books. On a whim, I entered a contest and ended up winning, which led to a connection with a publishing house. Now, I'm a recognized author of several best-selling novels and is often featured in the media.
I've never heard this story before.
After a moment of silence, Vanessa starts to speak as if she can't believe what's going on. Cutting her off, Marty says,
I didn't say it before, but it's true.
Glaring at Vanessa as he speaks. Something about Marty's reaction must have convinced her it's not a lie. Vanessa turns to look at me, her expression changing from devilish to as radiant as a flower.
If you're such an amazing person, that's a different story. Please, join the ceremony. Don't mess with me. I'm not marrying you.
At Marty's words, Vanessa looks ready to explode.
What did you say?
The coach holds Vanessa back.
There's no way we can just go back to normal after you've treated my precious sister like this. I'm sorry, but I can't marry Vanessa.
Marty deeply apologizes in front of Vanessa's parents and the relatives who were planning to attend the wedding. Vanessa's parents also raise their voices.
You can't be serious.
But the relatives standing behind them hold them back. There was some drama, but eventually, it was decided that Vanessa's side of the attendees should leave. Vanessa kept shouting,
You have to marry me!
Until the end. Back in the dressing room, it's just me and Marty. Marty, looking completely drained, sits down on the sofa.
Are you sure it's okay to call off the wedding?
I can't help but ask, even if it's reopening old wounds. Marty lets out a dry laugh.
Being a soccer player means you have a limited time in the spotlight. I don't think a marriage with Vanessa, who is so obsessed with her career, would last long.
That makes sense. Marty has a point. I can easily picture how Vanessa, who ridiculed me so much for working at a supermarket, would treat Marty after he quits soccer. Why didn't you tell her that I'm a writer? I throw another question at Marty. Marty hadn't told Vanessa that I'm a writer. It felt like there was some meaning behind this. I just didn't think it was necessary. Marty smiles. But I can't help but think that maybe Marty had noticed something about Vanessa's true nature. Several discussions took place between both families, and the marriage, the engagement, was officially called off. Vanessa and her parents resisted until the end, but it seems their relatives managed to hold them back. Even after the marriage fell through, Marty continues to thrive in soccer. On the other hand, it seems like Vanessa's family faced a tough time after her outburst in the waiting room got sold to the media. As for me, I'm considering turning this experience into a novel while continuing my writing and supermarket job. I plan to keep teaming up with Marty, just like we always have. No employee by that name works here, I'm afraid. I realized my husband Cody left something behind when he went on a business trip, so I called his office and told his name. To my surprise, they said no such person worked there. What could this mean? Suspicious, I started rummaging through Cody's belongings in his room. Then, from his luggage, I found something shocking, something unbelievable. When I found this astonishing truth, I decided to revenge. My name is Rachel Thunderbolt. This year marks my 3rd year of marriage to Cody. Since I was the only daughter, Cody became an adopted son-in-law of the Thunderbolt family to carry on our name, and his last name became Thunderbolt too. He gladly accepted to take on my family's name. We had a blissful marriage, usually busy with our jobs, but we promised to have a baby someday. I could never have predicted our happy life would come to such a sudden end. It all started on the day Cody left for his business trip. While cleaning his room, I found a large envelope. It looked like important documents for his trip.
Oh no!
I tried calling Cody, but his cell phone was off and I couldn't reach him. Maybe he was on a plane or on Amtrak train, going through the tunnel. Thinking it urgent, I called his company next.
Hello, this is Seven Forest Corporation. I'm Cody Thunderbolt's wife. He forgot something important and I need to contact him right away.
Cody Thunderbolt. Please hold for a moment. The man on the phone, presumably Cody's colleague, sounded perplexed. Soon, the call was put on hold, and music began to play. After being on hold for about 3 minutes, the same man returned with an odd word.
I'm sorry, but we don't have an employee named Cody Thunderbolt. Are you sure you have the right company? What? But you are Seven Forest Corporation, right?
Yes, that's correct, but I was certain it was Cody's workplace. I double-checked the phone number, and it wasn't a common company name. Despite repeatedly confirming the company name and address, they kept insisting they had no employee by that name. All right, thank you. Sorry to bother you. I hung up the phone, utterly confused, but one thing was certain. Cody was lying about something. With a mix of confusion and a desire to find some clue, I searched his room again. And there, in his bag, I found an employee ID card for Seven Forest Corporation. It had his photo on it. He definitely worked there, no doubt about it. But the name written here. It said Cody Harris, a completely different last name. Confused and dizzy, I squatted down. I took a deep breath to calm my mind. Cody had a big secret. Convinced of this, I couldn't just sit still. I went straight to a private investigator to look into his background. Cody's business trip, if his words were right, was for a week. The investigator was skilled, and I got the report before Cody returned. But the content was shocking. To put it bluntly, Rachel Thunderbolt, you're single.
What? I don't understand what you mean.
Cody has another family.
Does that mean he's cheating on me?
Well, it's more like you're the other woman.
What?
According to the investigator, there was no marriage record between me and Cody. He had another family, with whom he was legally married, so they were his real wife and children. Was I not married? What does this mean? It was a shockingly unbelievable fact. After receiving the report from the investigator, I couldn't say anything and rode the bus home, absent-minded.
We'll need quite a bit of money for a wedding, huh? I can't afford it right now, but one day we'll definitely have one. I'll work harder so we can also go on a honeymoon.
3 years ago, Cody said that with a refreshing smile and promised. It's okay if we don't have a wedding. I'm happy as is. I smiled and said that. His parents had passed away, leaving him all alone, so we only reported our marriage to my parents. Since I was the only daughter, he took the initiative to take on the Thunderbolt name. Of course, my parents were delighted with this. We signed the marriage application, but around that time, I got busy at work and couldn't find time to go to the city office with him. Rachel, you're busy, right? I'll submit it when the time is right. So, I entrusted him with the application, assuming he had submitted it. But in reality, he never did, and so Cody and I were just strangers. We both had different jobs and social insurance, and we kept our finances separate. So, something that should have been apparent from tax documents or something went completely unnoticed. Cody must have known and done it on purpose. I believed we were married and lived as such. Thinking about it made me feel a deep anger rising within me. A week passed, and it was the day Cody returned home. I left work early to wait for him.
Cody, we need to talk.
As soon as he entered the living room with the carry-on bag he used for his trip, I talked to him. "What?" "I have souvenirs, you know," he said nonchalantly. Seeing that just made me angrier.
Your real name is Cody Harris, isn't it? What?
I confronted Cody with the employee ID card I found in his room, and he looked shaken for a moment.
Well, I just kept Harris as my name at work. What are you talking about? When we met, you called yourself Cody Smith. Did I? I don't remember.
Cody tried to feign ignorance, but I presented him with the private investigator's report.
I went behind your back, sorry, but I had a private investigator look into you. You have another family, and I was just a fling, right?
He seemed taken aback by the evidence but quickly tried to regain composure with a smile.
It wasn't just a fling. I take everything seriously. Don't give me that. You clearly said you'd submit our marriage application. Did I say that? Then how come we're not married? Why is that?
Cody kept making irresponsible words, trying to dodge my questioning. His careless attitude only made me more stressed. You were the one who said, "It's okay if we don't have a wedding."
I'm happy as is. That's different. This is a case of bigamy, a violation of the law.
That's fine. Since I never submitted the marriage application with you, it's not bigamy.
So my feelings don't matter at all.
Finally, my anger exploded. I slammed the table, causing a glass to topple and water to spill onto the floor. "Ah, you're so noisy. I didn't think you were such a troublesome woman." Cody picked up his carry-on bag again and opened the living room door.
Then, I'm going home. Going home? Where to?
To my real home, obviously. It seems like a hassle to stay with you now. I won't come here for a while. Cool off in the meantime. Leaving these words as if I was the villain, Cody left the house.
Coward! Irresponsible man!
I threw a tissue box, but the front door closed mercilessly, and Cody never came back after that. I won't let this go. Didn't he realize in these 3 years that I'm not a woman who would just let things slide? I decided to make Cody pay for this. The next day, I called Misty Harris, Cody's legal wife, whose number was in the investigator's report. A woman answered, and I could hear a boy's voice in the background. "Hello, are you Misty Harris, Cody's wife?"
"Yes, I am.
My name is Rachel Thunderbolt. I've been, well acquainted with Cody." Unsure how to start, my words trailed off, and Misty sounded very puzzled. I briefly explained the situation and arranged to meet her in person soon. At a coffee shop, as soon as we met, Misty glared at me with disdain.
You have the nerve to show up after messing with someone else's husband.
Wait, please. I'm a victim too. I showed her the investigator's report and explained everything in detail. I still can't believe I was the other woman.
Cody doing such a thing. Unforgivable.
Misty believed me after seeing the evidence and was visibly furious.
I understand the situation now. Not only did he play with your feelings, Rachel, but he's also been deceiving me all this time. So, I want to punish Cody, and I need your help.
All right, I'll help you. And so, we conspired together to plan our revenge on Cody. The day of reckoning came. On his day off, Cody was relaxing in front of the TV at Misty's house. Their elementary school-aged child was out with friends, so seizing the moment, I stormed into the house. Your other wife has graciously come to visit, Misty announced, leading me to the living room. Cody, who had been lounging, sprang up in shock at the sight of me.
Geez! Rachel!
Long time no see, Cody.
What? Why? How?
Cody, in confusion, pointed alternately between us.
What's this? When did you two meet?
Misty and I have become very close friends.
Huh.
At that moment, the doorbell rang, and Misty's parents, along with Cody's, arrived, looking furious. Cody, who was lounging around in sweatpants, straightened up quickly.
What? What brings everyone here together?
He was completely intimidated by their devilish expressions.
Rachel, did you set this up?
I got Misty's help too.
So, Cody, you have no allies here.
By yesterday, Misty had already told her parents that Cody was cheating. I had managed to get the contact details of Cody's parents, who were actually alive, and sent them a registered letter with the investigator's report and a summary of everything that had happened. And I called them here for Cody's punishment.
What are you doing? What's your aim with all this? First, you have something you need to do, right? You know what it is?
You want money?
No. You should start with an apology.
Pressed by my stern words, Cody looked pleadingly at Misty, who just stared back expressionlessly.
We'll demand compensation after you've done what you should. Right, Cody!
Misty and I towered over Cody, who had squatted down in exhaustion. Both Misty's and Cody's parents surrounded him with stern looks.
Wait, if you two are getting along so well, there's no need to fight, right? Why not keep things as they are, maintain both families?
Even in this situation, Cody tried to escape responsibility. He was just alpha and irresponsible person.
I like both of you. I wanted to maintain good relationships, something like that.
His shameless attitude was almost refreshing in its thoroughness. But both sets of parents berated him fiercely.
Are you joking? Don't you feel sorry for Misty and Rachel?
Shouts and tearful voices filled the air, and Cody shrank back, letting out a pathetic whimper. I took a deep breath and spoke calmly.
I understand exactly what you want. You do? So we can keep things this way, right? No way! I'm utterly disappointed. I'm breaking up with you. And I'll be expecting compensation, so make sure you're prepared.
What? No. As I declared my decision to part ways, Misty followed suit.
I'm divorcing you too. Expect to pay compensation and child support. I don't ever want to see your face again. Get out.
Cody looked up at me, his eyes tearing, and tried to plead.
Before I say, don't think of coming back to my place. I won't let you in. I'll apologize properly. Let's submit our marriage application this time, right? Let's get married. Don't be ridiculous. I never want to see you again. Goodbye.
Cody was disowned by his parents then and there, losing his last refuge. He was ousted from Misty's house by everyone present and stood dazed outside the gate. That was the anticlimactic end of our relationship. Now for the epilogue. Cody, having to pay us compensation and losing everything, stayed at cheap hotels and internet cafes. But after my call to his company about his business trip raised suspicion, his boss confronted him, and his double life was exposed. The whole company found out through the colleague who took the call, so Cody quit his job, fleeing in shame. True to his irresponsible nature, he ran away just because he felt uncomfortable, despite having no money. Eventually, Cody ran out of money and became homeless, as I heard. As for me, I ended my relationship with Cody, but the emotional scars of spending 3 years as the other woman didn't heal easily. I buried myself in work to forget, leading to a life consumed by my job. A male colleague, concerned about me, asked, "Is something wrong?" and we started going out for drinks together. While venting over drinks, I found myself crying, but he just silently supported me. Having lost trust in people, I began to feel that maybe I could trust this man, and we started dating. I'm experiencing a modest happiness now. Someday, I'm sure I'll find true happiness.